Hello and welcome to the Sweet and Spicy Podcast. My name is Kate.
And I'm Cecily. And today...
Part two!
Part two.
It's part two of two. Two of two, I think. We'll see by the end of this.
I think it should just be 2 of 2, but who knows? I mean, technically you could add the other series as other parts. So, there's that. But maybe later.
Not right away.
We'll jump in with the triggers. Pretty much the same as last time. Sex scenes. Duh. Fighting, strong language. This is a war, so elements of battle, blood, gore, dark magic, death of character. Let's see. In the other books, also more kinky sex, lots of blood because of vampire, and his mate has hemophilia. I think that's what it's called. Where you have
I'm
the
sorry,
blood.
I just did an ADHD thing. I just made unnecessary noises.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I told you. I warned you. I warned you before we recorded this episode today. I told you I am on one today.
Well.
Also, you can totally see my. Yeah. I'm gonna take these off.
Okay.
Now I can't.
Continuing. Bad breakups, demons, succubus, abuse, death of a parent, jackass, narcissistic parent.
This sounds familiar.
It's got the works, okay?
This one might trigger me.
Potentially. Obviously consensual dominance, we've got alphas and stuff going on. We've got dad's best friend going on this time around.
Oh.
Yeah. This one's fun. What else happens in that one? Oh, that one has elements of stalkery voyeurism between mates.
I mean, that's okay. That's pretty common in my books. So this
Yeah,
is
but we're talking like cameras and like inappropriate markings of sorts.
You remember my last couple books, right?
Anywho, and then the last one we've got twin alphas and their mate that they share. So reverse harem. Woohoo! Love a reverse harem.
Is that considered a reverse harem, or is that just?
They're probably more of a throuple, but they're twins.
I would assume
so they're not really coupled
See,
together.
I don't know.
Listen, she gets 2 alphas, so.
Okay, but they're twins, I'm guessing.
But they
based
are
on
twins,
the title.
Yes.
So they don't touch each other, obviously.
No, there is no sword crossing, because that would be incest, and that's not
That'd
in
be
the
weird.
story. Like I said, there's lots of fighting. In this one, you've got problematic parents still, death of parents, a lot of the, just, the huge. So, last episode, am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so.
I'm not forgetting anything. Last episode, we talked about Under the Moon, where you learned about Clara and Cain, and they become Luna and Alpha. You have the Alpha's Kitten, where we talked about Wesley Hale and his Luna Charlotte, and then the Finding Love with the Fae King. You have Melina and the Fae King Osiris, and then you have the Exiled Dragon, and you have Creed and Odessa, and I didn't tie in all of that stuff.
So I will say, from your descriptions of all those from last week, I think the last 2 that you talked about, so 3 and 4, might be my favorites.
3 and 4 are up there. They're big favorites. I love Finding Love with the Fae King, but I also love the Exiled Dragon. And those 2 really start to amp up what we're getting to today, which is book number 5, The Dark War.
Is this the one that talks about work peen?
And that was the last one, but works are still in here.
Sorry. My bad.
So, there goes the peen counter. Ding. So, the Dark War we're back in POV view of Clara and Kane. They are Alpha and Luna of their pack. They're not taking over the kingdom yet. Clara's still learning to be queen because obviously she has to learn about everything. She's already doing a fantastic job, though, as we know, because she's making friends with people. She's, got the Fae assigned to an agreement. She's made contact and friends with the Atlanteans, thanks to Melina, because they're all, besties. So, in the background of this book a lot, that you kind of get a little bit of going on, if you remember the half-sister of the vampire that abducted Clara, Talia, she went to become queen of the vampires. However, she is a hybrid. She's half witch. And the vamps, a lot of them, they don't like that. They're not interested. Plus, her mate is a werewolf. So first they were all like,
right.
We'll take a vampire king consort. And she's like, heck nah. And Jasper's also like, no way.
Yeah, but honestly, he has no room to say nothing to her. From what I remember, he was going to go and see Clara, right?
He was after Clara, yes. But he never did anything. So he does be like, that's my mate. You can't take her from me. Which they have to get past their issues to finally mate with each other. Like, they're together, but they weren't, together. There's a lot of drama. Talia has a lot of issues, naturally. Her mother was killed. Her father was a douchebag. And her brother was a douchebag. So, she got issues. Understandable. Jasper didn't help those issues. But now he does. Because mate bonds. Gotta love a mate bond. Yep. All our lives would probably be a little easier if we had a mate bond. But
I think so, because a lot of us would not have to go through the heartbreaks and things and the shitty people. And well, honestly though, in some books they do still.
I mean, they do, so it's not foolproof. However, I digress. So in this book, it does have more of the scene from Clara and Kane's perspective about Odessa and Creed and figuring out that Creed didn't, all the stuff that I didn't tell you about because spoilers. So, good things. The elves, what they've discovered with the Dark War, I've talked about how in the background of each of the preceding 4 books, there's a lot of dark magic, and that they're using dragon's blood to activate the magic, and the dragon tribe under Adam was in on it, because he was a douche canoe.
Remind me who Adam was again?
He was the half-brother of Creed who took over the tribe and slashed Creed's vocal cords and killed the parents.
Right.
Faked his mate, all kinds of stuff.
Yep. The crappy one.
Horrible.
Got it.
Douche canoe. So, he was selling the dragon's blood for all this black magic and stuff and helping it spread further and further in Bulgarian. And, they have realized that it's really, really bad, and all of these power-hungry witches and warlocks are behind it, and there's also a sorcerer behind it, and the sorcerer is literally some of them are becoming possessed by demons that have escaped Tartarus, which is what we discussed in book 2 when the vampire that was obsessed with Luna Charlotte was also possessed by a demon that had escaped Tartarus, and Hades had to come lock that shit down. Well, Hades, this is all around the time, this kind of happens around that time. Hades was depressed because Persephone wasn't his love no more. She had gone with her mate. So Hades was letting shit slip down in Tartarus. Not cool.
He was lonely. And
he was
sad,
lonely,
and his wife was gone.
Then blah 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 blah. But sir, you are guardian of the underworld, and we need things to stay in the underworld.
Yeah, but you telling me you wouldn't let things slip at hi UA. You wouldn't. Hi baby.
I didn't realize she was in here. I thought all the cats were out.
Surprise kitty.
Surprise spirits.
But you're saying that you wouldn't.
I mean, I would, but you're a god. Your responsibilities are significantly more important than mine.
And he already had to live without his wife for 6 months out of the year, and he hated it. And he let stuff slip during that period, too. So we all knew this was going to happen.
Well, shit bed, okay? That's
shit hit the fan.
Yeah. It has hit the fan, and it is blowing all over Bulgarian, with the possibility of going to the Earth. Bad. What? It's so funny.
When you said it's spreading all over, I'm just thinking of like one of those crop plates that sprays stuff on the crop.
I cannot with you.
I'm sorry, continue. I'll get my giggles out.
Okay. So, they're learning more and more about it, and obviously after the issues in the last book, and with them ending up finding the orcs. Because the orcs were hidden behind this wall. Because of years ago problems, the orcs were hidden. The orcs are not bad guys. They're not shifters, but the orcs are still just orcs. But what happened is the orcs received a message from what they call the moon fairy, who is in fact the moon goddess, that they needed to help with the war, and she would grant them mates as well. So the orcs are teaming up to help, and the orc help is very important because the orcs are impervious to magic. So none of this dark magic can get them. So that's a big, big help. Also, if you remember Horus the dragon, big, big help. Stuff like that. They need all the help they can get. And they also have some of the gods and goddesses, because something I didn't quite go into last time, but does happen. Each of the different characters, the females especially, when they're going into their transition and like becoming their shifter counterpart again and stuff, they go and like end up meeting with Athena. So Athena's kind of flitting around, and you're introduced to Athena.
Sorry, I have Epic the Musical now stuck in my head. Thank you for that.
Okay. But Athena helps them like figure out different things and gives them little like otherworldly messages and things.
Okay.
So there's the different gods and goddesses, like Celine's whole role as the moon goddess here, and the different ones, they're all kind of like, we can't interfere, but we are like stacking the deck as much as possible. So like, we can't actively do something, but we can like help a brother out the whole time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's been going on too, and they're getting ready for this war. But they realize how badly out of control the vampire kingdom of Vermilion is. And they realize that, that's just not working out very well. And they didn't have they lost some support because the Duke who tried to keep Odessa was saying, oh, she's my mate and she's ran off, and he's a big fat liar. She was a blood bag and he was trying to kill her, keep her forever. So naturally, vampires sided with him because he was a vamp and they didn't trust Talia, which is just wild when you think about it. Because, like, look at how much better your life could be if you would just not be a dicky vampire. But, I digress. So, and you're also starting to see where Clara is, like, struggling with her mother's teachings, because her mother is, like I said, she's very overbearing. She's... And I've told you, Clara has, like, gifts and abilities she's gotten, like her mother has, and there's, like, bits and pieces of sight. So Clara sees things, her mother has seen things. Her mother's just kind of gotten old and cocky and had her position too long. And then Clara and Kane at this point also have had their first child. So she's, like, a new mom trying to go into battle and all this stuff. And it's very, like... heartbreaking because they do end up sending a lot of people to Earth, and they send her parents even, so that way there's royalty in case something happens to them, because her mother is actually pregnant. She's going to have a brother. They had never had another child, but now they're going to have a child, so she's like, they gotta go just in case they don't make it. What's the face for?
I don't know. I know it's probably not, because the books don't sound like they go like this.
He's not going to take the crown just because he's a boy.
That's not what I meant. I meant, like, Mama trying to make sure that someone can take the crown.
No. That was not the intent. They just finally...
They
were finally relaxed. Again. They were relaxed and love each other and happy and, bada bang, bada boom. Surprise! So, anywho, there's another sad part that happens in here that does influence into the other book. Kane has a beta named Marcus, who has been his buddy for ages, hundreds of years at this point. He's a big playboy. They're coming through the Dark War because these darknesses, the witches and things, they've been attacking villages and different things and all kinds of weird stuff that they've been looking into. And he found his mate, and she died. Like, they were coming through a village, and he found his mate, but he couldn't save her, and she died. So Marcus is, like, really messed up because he's like, I finally find my mate, and she's literally ripped from my arms and dies. So, yeah. Big trauma. Big trauma. I mentioned, Melina was injured in this battle and might not be able to have children, but Creed helped her survive by giving her his dragon's blood. So, like, everybody is not... Like, our main favorite characters are mostly making it through this book, but we're also, like...
Mostly?
Like, our mains are, but there's, like, some side mains that are not. I know, this book is... Vera be traumatizing us with this one, but I mean, it's still
Come
so
on,
good.
Vera.
It's still so good. It's still so good. So it's.
I still am gonna read it because it sounds really good, but now I know that I'm gonna get traumatized.
Well, and they go together. So the nice part is when you're mated and you go to the afterlife together and you live forever together happily.
So wait, he dies too?
No, because here's the thing: she was given a choice. He was her second chance mate, I think. He was either her second chance or... I believe he was her second chance, but it's either that or she could have a mate in the beyond and then he would get another in Earth. So it's like little things they do. So Marcus is not going to be alone forever. He just doesn't know who his mate is yet. And after that book, he continues... He kind of goes back to his playboy lifestyle, but he really doesn't. He's just kind of faking it because he's actually, like, very severely depressed for a wear. So anywho, not long after the war, Clara and Kane, they've had more children because they have Evelyn, their daughter, who's the oldest. She will become queen. Yep. Then they have Melody, and then they end up having the twins. The twins are the youngest. Okay. So, in between that time, while their kids are still growing and everything...
Wait. I think you know what I'm going to ask. Are the twins boys?
The twins are boys.
Are the twins the last book?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay.
Also,
we do big time jumps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of time. Okay. There's some time jumping going on. Well, what's funny is she actually wrote that book, The Twinning and Sitting, before she wrote these other books in the middle. So, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I think she probably had them written, but as far as publishing and different things, I don't know. But
it's still cool.
They're still very fascinating and very good. And it all ties together beautifully. So, other thing I forgot to mention.
So do you need to read Twinning and Sitting before?
No.
So you should read it in order.
Yeah, no, you should totally read it in order. She just wrote it. Okay. She just pulled a George Lucas and, like, here it is, but, like, all this other stuff. Yeah. She just pulled a George Lucas on us.
That's actually probably pretty cool.
So, other group of characters, I've mentioned the elves before. So the elves that live amongst the trees are, like, a smaller type elf kind of thing. But they used to have, like, full-sized elves. Big, powerful creatures that were... royalty of the land, and there's not many of them left from the previous issues years and years ago, but there is one guy named Folan, and he's a big part and a big help in the battles, and they meet him, and he's important later on. So, the next book, while their kids are growing up and they're restoring Bulgarian to its glory after the battle and everything, because there was like a big crack in the land and the gods helped heal it, and it's a whole thing. It's very dramatic, but I don't want to do too much because spoilers. I would love for people to read these books, just so she gets the recognition she deserves because they're awesome. So,
I'm definitely gonna read them after this.
Next book is His True Beloved, and this is actually kind of happening while the Dark War stuff is happening. If you remember good old Sebastian, he was one of the vampires who was under the command to go after Clara, and then he wanted her to take him as an extra mate. Well, Clara's like, nah, dog, you got a mate. She gives him her Jeep, her humanly money and such, told him, your second chance is on Earth. Go find her. So he starts traveling around to different vampire covens, which is also kind of a neat job because it kind of gives him an eye on the covens there to make sure that the Earthside vampires are behaving themselves. So he finds this one, which is like a super idyllic vampire coven, like a little day cult. They are good. They really are good. They really are. But it's just like they have like the whole system figured out. They have the main house. They have housing for vampires. They have housing for vampires who find their human mates, because the process to turn your mate, they experience bloodlust, and it takes several days, and they can't be around their family because they might kill them, drain them dry. So they have housing for the mates to be together, and then they have like daycare for like, you know, the amount of time it takes for the parent to get over bloodlust. So the families can be around, because most of the time, if you're a human mated to a supernatural, then your children will be mated to a supernatural as well.
Yeah, because superior blood.
So that's how they have their whole coven thing there. They live within a town. They have peace with the local wares. Cool stuff. So Sebastian ends up there, and he's kind of like, what fresh hell is this? Because Sebastian is like several hundred years old, and he's like very stuffy old from Vermilion. Like he was a market guy who like drove a cart and sold his wares.
Sebastian needs to get with the times.
He does. And he will do that when he meets his college-aged human mate, Christine. So Christine...
Oh, she's going to run circles around him.
Oh, yeah, it's fun. Christine is the daughter of two humans. One being her mother, who is mated to a vampire, and the other being her trash hole narcissistic father. Scum.
Gross.
Douche rocket. They got a divorce. He cut them off. Never wanted to send anything. Never visited her. All kinds of stuff. Just a horrible, scuzzy person. So she had made it into college, and she had this boyfriend for like 5 years. And she had a really rough breakup because she wouldn't ever sleep with him. It just didn't feel right. I mean, you know, that's how it be sometimes. Especially us of the female persuasion. We're very much, if our heart is not in it, then, you know, the rest of us ain't either. Sometimes. Sometimes not. You do you.
Pause. My neighbors let their dogs out.
I barely heard it, though.
I'm not as close to the window today.
Fair. So,
they're still going.
They're really killing my vibe.
I know, I'm sorry. You're on like a roll.
I am. I'm like focused. Like today is my day. And you want to know why?
Why?
Because I realized that I wasn't cranky because of the moon, the sun, carbs, periods, or anything. I needed an attitude adjustment. My husband provided that yesterday.
In the form of book entertainment?
I have been good ever since yesterday.
You enjoy editing this out for YouTube.
Oh, hell, I might leave it in. Who knows? I'm just saying, sometimes, if you can't figure out what's wrong with you.
Sometimes.
You know, like, I knew it had been kind of a minute because of, like, different reasonings and things, and I was just like, you know what? Yeah, so that happened, and then I'm like, the world feels better. All is right with the world again.
Ba-dum-dum-dum-dum.
Sunshine and rainbows.
Sunshine, lollipops. Okay, anyway.
Are the dogs done barking?
Yes, they are finally done.
Okay. So Christine, horrible father, wonderful mother. Horrible boyfriend. She comes home from college.
This poor girl.
I know. And she's got blood clotting disorder, which I'm pretty certain is called hemophilia, but for some reason it feels wrong. But anywho, she bleeds a lot if she starts to bleed. All over the place.
Okay.
She comes home because her mom has something to tell her, and her mom is informing her, this is my new man's. My new man's is a vampire. Because she's like, Mom, why is the house dark? What's all this? Man's is a vampire. Man's is a very nice man's, though. So,
okay.
For the life of me, I can't remember his name, and I feel bad. But he's a very nice vampire. And so she explains the whole thing, and she's like, you know, you can come live with us. And she's like, obviously, I have to, because Mom's lost her mind. Like, she thinks her mom's nuts. And, you know, doesn't want her to just take off with this man because she knew how her dad treated them and all this other stuff. Yeah. And then she's like, oh, God, when I bleed, I can't bleed because if I bleed, all the vampires are going to eat me. So she's, like, terrified. She's also very closed off. So she kind of comes with an attitude problem.
I feel like this blood disorder is going to lead to some issues with her newly found vampire mate.
It's going to lead to some fun is what it's going to lead to.
Okay, so there's a question that I have for you, but I don't know if it's really a question that I need to ask. Because then I feel like you're going to look at me different. Does he end up, it's Sebastian, right? Yeah. Does he end up with a Cheshire smile? I think that's what it's called. A Joker smile? I think it's Cheshire smile.
Are you talking about eating a bloody kitty?
Yes.
Oh my
That's
God.
what it's called.
I didn't know that that's what that's called.
I think that's what that's called. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, that ain't
I
what's
told
going
you you're
on.
gonna look at me weird.
That ain't going on in this
Listen,
universe.
I've
heard about that in other universes, but
I can tell you a book to read if you want.
No.
It has nothing to do with vampires, though.
Okay, at least the description of the one I read was it's a vampire who finds out a tasty monthly treat, which, like, I get it, you're a vamp, and, like, you know, everybody's got a kink, but that's one of those that I would kind of, no thank you.
It's vampire boba.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
I feel the need to pray for you. And I ain't felt that need in a long time.
I'm crying.
You should be. Tears of repentance.
Give me a minute.
You need to be delivered.
You're gonna have to give me a minute. Oh my God, I'm crying because I'm laughing so hard. Oh my God.
Touch a Lord. I cannot.
You have to stop. You're making me laugh harder. We're not gonna be able to finish this episode. Oh no.
You're doing nothing.
Listen, your thing. Okay, I'm gonna run you through my ADHD brain here real quick. Okay?
Oh dear.
So I brought up the vampire-y things, right? And then I remembered when I was in, like, middle school-y thing, on Tumblr, there was a post about, like, it was somebody's, like, you know, feminine hygiene products were in this, like, canvas bag, but the canvas bag said, vampire tea bags on it. And then my brain went, huh. And then it just kept going. It just, like, came for vampire boba. You're welcome.
To that. I've just gotten where I enjoyed a nice fruity boba tea, and you've probably just about ruined it for me.
No, I didn't. It's fine. It's fine. You'll forget about it. It's fine. You forget most of my weird ADHD things, so I feel like we're okay.
I forget that one. Don't know that I can forget that one.
I think you can.
Ma'am, Stop the scratching.
Highway.
Quiet.
I forgot there was a child among us.
I know, there's little ears. Little fuzzy ears.
Yeah, I know.
Anywho.
Okay. Sorry,
Alright.
I'm done for now.
Blah, 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 blah. Cut. Okay.
Oh, that's all staying in.
Oh, God. So.
I think it's funny.
She. Lordy. Anywho. She thinks her mom's losing her marbles. She goes to check this stuff out, make sure. And she's immediately like, this is like a cult. But it's like, I mean, they're vampires.
Yeah.
So she's got an attitude. She's not being very nice. She's very closed off. She's very upset. And she tries to go see her mother every day, even though they're like, you can't go see your mother. You will die. She will suck you dry.
Wait,
she ends
so mom's a vampire now?
Mom is becoming a vampire. So they moved into the special
thing.
housing. Yes, because of the mate bond. She's becoming a vamp. So Sebastian meets her and is like, mate. But also realizes, holy crap, what an uphill battle I have here.
Yeah.
So, but she kind of like starts talking to him and stuff. And, you know, it's kind of chill. But she's still kind of like very closed off, very nervous. She does end up going into the little town and she meets, I believe it's Pamela. Pam is a Sigma wolf. So in this universe, there's the Wares who have their alphas, their betas, their deltas, their gammas, blah, blah, blah. And they live in packs. Yeah. And then you have your rogue wolves. Your rogues are, you know, the ones who are off without a pack and do bad things, commit crimes, terrible people.
Okay, so rogues in this universe are commit crimes.
Typically, they're the bad guys.
Okay.
Then you have Sigmas. Sigmas are an alpha that doesn't require a pack, so they can be on their own. So her father was a Sigma alpha, and he married her mother, and then they had kids. So she's a Sigma. So she's like, I'm an alpha, and I don't need to take your shiz. It's great. She has colorful hair. She even dyes like her Bit's hair. She's fun. Tons of fun. She befriends Christine. Christine likes to draw. She catches her drawing Sebastian one day and she's like, who's that? And it's a whole thing. She convinces her to go to this show with her where the wearers are coming. Different wearers are going to be in town because they have... Okay. The Vampire Coven works with the local wolf packs and they have mating balls and the chance that, you know, mates and stuff. Not a ball per se, but parties. So they're having this concert and she goes there with her and like she puts her in this like hoochie mama outfit and Sebastian comes in going crazy because his mate's out here in a hoochie mama outfit and they have a little fun time in the closet at the rock show. Yeah, Sebastian for his old age and manners is kind of like a bit like daddy in this.
He's like
a little bit.
I like this new outfit choices of the modern women.
He likes it for his eyes only, not for everybody else.
How dare she?
Especially the werewolves that be eyeballing her and thinking she's cute stuff, and he's like, mine. There's also an adorable little vampire who you kind of think is gay, but in the end, I don't believe he is. But he's like adorable, and he befriends her, and he's a chatterbox, but he also befriends Sebastian, and is like, da-da-da-da-da-da, and he's cute and adorable and lighthearted and makes everything fun. So, anywho, the cat's being noisy.
It's okay, my puppy just squeaked her toy about a gazillion times.
So her friend ends up meeting her mate, which is an alpha. Ooh. And her dream has always been to be chased, like her mother and father's love story, where he had to chase her down. So she takes off running. But she's checking on her friend. So Christine is like trying to bond with Sebastian and, you know, get mated and turned and all that good stuff. Because It's happening kind of quickly, but that's happening for her protection. Because remember her douchey ex-boyfriend?
Yes.
He's a succubus. He's been dating her for 5 years, and he was trying to get with her, and she refused, and turns out he's a succubus, and she caught him cheating, but he's like in love with her and trying to explain, it wasn't cheating, but I needed it because you won't, and, you know, if you would have just fed me, we would have been fine, and we could have been in love, and I wouldn't have to be this way.
Wait. Aren't succubuses female?
I'm sorry, an incubus. My bad.
I was like, wait a second. Yeah,
my bad.
Incubus are male, succubus are female.
My bad. I done messed up my demonology. Oops.
My brain went, and then it went, hold on a damn minute.
No, he is an incubus.
Okay.
My apologies. Anywho, it gets worse because turns out her dad, similar to Odessa's mother, has a little bit of witchy power, witchy whatever, and like sold her to the demon, and so the demon's after her, and Sebastian's like, hell no. Meanwhile, they're also worried because they know Bulgarian's sealing itself off for the Dark War and all this other stuff. Yeah. So there's a lot going on. So she's checking on her friend, and this is a really funny part. Because she's literally, like, naked from running in the woods, running from her alpha, and everyone is, like, going crazy at the vampire coven. Because she's waiting for Christine to wake up and be okay before she lets her alpha take her. Mm-hmm. And then, she, like, comes and shows up naked and talks to Christine, and Christine's like, you're naked. Why are you like this? She's like, it's fine. Then later, there's also a scene where Christine ventures into the woods and sees her and her alpha man going at it and is kind of turned on, and Sebastian kind of like, either some voyeuristic playing going on there. Interesting things. Mm-hmm. So they end up having to deal with all of that fun stuff. Her douchey father, the Dark War ending, all of that fun stuff. And then Clara decides she has a mission for Sebastian. Sebastian is a very, very old vampire from a well-respected family back in the day. So because Talia and Jasper get no respect, they're going to be like the power behind the crown, and Sebastian and Christine will take over as the ruling couple of Vermilion.
Okay, that's cool.
It is pretty cool. And Sebastian's like, you know, whatever to help out. But of course, Christine's like, wait, so who's Clara? Because everybody's like, the fuck, Clara? And it's not even Clara's fault. She's just magnanimous because she's freaking queen. So, yeah. Anywho, so that's kind of what happens up in there. So, they've taken over that. Talia and Jasper are still kind of running things in the background. And Talia's off having children, and she has a very dark, mysterious child named Cassian. His book is coming. I can't wait till his book, because he seems like he's got a lot going on. Since his mother is a super powerful sorceress, he's got a super strong vampire line, and his dad is like a Delta werewolf. So
yeah, he's gonna be like a tribrid.
He's like a tribrid. He is an intense dude. Cool. You meet him a little bit in the next book, Alpha of Her Dreams, which is about Princess Evelyn. Because Clara has become queen, Evelyn's grown up. This is all about Evelyn growing up in her side of the story. Okay. So, Evelyn is not your typical princess. She is a warrior through and through. She is her daddy's daughter, which most of the time, firstborn daughters are usually their dad's strongest man child. So, there you go. She's spunky. She acts the opposite of a princess. She is always out on the training field since she was small.
She's preparing for war if she's got to do it again.
She kicks ass and takes names. Grandma don't like it. Grandma is horrible to her, and that becomes a big part of the story where they realize how far Grandma has gone to the Delulu. Because Grandma is super harsh on her and is like, that's not how you're... Basically, what she missed out on from teaching Clara as a child to be queen, she's trying to do to Evelyn. But Evelyn has too much of her daddy in her to take her shiz. However, she does take it as a child to keep the peace until she finally loses her shit. And then she's like, Grandma's not teaching me no more. But no one ever tells Clara and Kane. Because,
And- Sorry,
Kane
which
would
book
kill
is
her.
hers again? Which
Alpha
number?
of her dreams.
Which number?
Oh, book 7 of 9.
Book 7. Oh. Dang, you're getting through these. I'm proud of you.
What can I say? We're determined.
Yes.
So, she begins to dream to escape the crazy of her grandma and stuff. And where she dreams, she's a dream wanderer. She, like, creates this whole little place. Well, she
That's
also
cool.
summons someone to her dreams. And he's, like, a soldier at the Royal Academy. Do you remember the wee little boy who was obsessed with Clara back in the very beginning?
Yes!
Him's all grown up and at the Royal Training Academy.
Oh my goodness! And he gonna be the... Oh.
Him's all grown up at the Royal Training Academy, and he finds himself having these dreams with this young girl. And he's like...
It's
read
like
the books.
full circle, and I love it. And I cannot wait to read these books.
It's beautiful circles. So
I'm
anywho,
finishing the Legacy of God series right now by Rena Kent, and then I will, in fact, start on these.
highly recommend. So, he's like getting pulled into dreams with these young girl, and he's like, what the heck? And first he like thinks it's witchcraft, like what's going on? But he starts calling her little warrior, and they train and they hang out, and it's very cutesy, and she tells him all her problems, and he talks to her because he doesn't really talk to anyone else. He takes everything very seriously because he's training very seriously to become, Queen Clara's personal guard to the family or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, there is a scene at the end of the first Under the Moon when they had baby Evelyn that he held baby Evelyn, and Clara kind of looked at them and got a little grin on her face. So Clara knows. So, Evelyn, they have these mating balls every so often at the castle, and if you're looking for your mate, you wear red to show that, you're of age and all that good stuff. So Evelyn's always like, ugh, please don't make me do this, please don't make me do this. She's terrified to find a mate because she doesn't want a mate, but then also she's falling for her dream man. And her dream man is falling for her, and meanwhile he's out training to be the biggest, baddest, wolfiest guard he can be.
So that he can protect Clara.
And so eventually...
He's not going to be protecting Clara.
Eventually, he tells... Clara and Kane come to check on him, and he tells Clara about the dreams and what's been happening, and she's like... Because at this point... Evelyn has confessed to her about the dream world and also found out that Grandma was crazy, and Grandma gets her ass sent to Siberia for banishment for a while to reconnect with her wolf, because what she did was a big no-no, and she called the warriors dogs. She said Evelyn was out wrestling like a dog, and Evelyn loses her mind on her. Evelyn, as a young girl, can do the freaky-deaky demi-form half-shift her daddy can.
That's cool.
So she's just as bad as she is her daddy's daughter. She is rough and tough.
She is a little Kane.
But she is like, I'm in love with this man and I don't want to meet my mate. But then, they go to the mating, and her mom's like, please go to the mating ball. Please go to the mating ball. And
Just
she's
wear
convinced.
The red.
And she's convincing, him, go to the mating ball. Just do it. Just do what I say. Just do what I say. And they
I am
go,
your queen.
And they're like,
go.
And guess what?
They mates. Yeah. I already figured that part out.
I mean, that's kind of an easy give me once you start reading it. But it is not without drama.
Of course.
Naturally, some of the guys don't think that he's strong enough to be the mate of the future queen. So they invoke this, old challenge rule. And so it's a fight of 3-on-1. Well, he's very well prepared for this fight. However, 3-on-1 is still a lot. The god Ares decides to sprinkle a little something something, and guess who develops his own half-shift form? Yes.
Young little
yes.
boy.
So, there they are. There's your next future queen and king. All that good stuff. And then there's like a bunch of other stuff going on that's kind of wild. But I don't want to get too into. Because that's the thing, is we came out of the Dark War and we expect peace, but like the gods and the other series, like stuff is coming again. There was like, people are very strong. It's like whenever you create, like all of a sudden people are like much stronger, their gifts are more because, you know, something's coming.
Yeah.
So,
Please ignore
here's
my
the
neighbor's
fun
dogs.
part.
They won't stop.
Here's the fun part. The next book is The Broken Alpha's Princess. Remember the mating ball Evelyn didn't want to go to?
Yes.
So she has gone to it, but her sister is also of age to go to this one. Her sweet sister Melody. Melody is the second-born princess. She is the heir to the Crimson Shadow Pack, which was Cain's pack, because obviously their first child becomes queen, other child becomes ruler of the
Alpha.
Shadow Pack. She has no desire to be the alpha. Melody is book smart. She loves research. She knows everything, tries to know everything, and she also likes to read romance smut books in her spare time.
Good for
And
her.
What so happens...
A girl after my own heart.
Cain's already having a cow because his oldest baby is finding her mate, and even though he likes him, he's still not happy about it. But guess who else finds her mate at that mating ball?
Oh, poor Cain. He's like, not both of my little girls.
Both of my babies. No,
poor Melody.
And remember that trope I mentioned earlier?
No.
What was the trope I mentioned earlier? Pop quiz.
No.
What was the trope? Say it.
I'm not
What was
answering it. No.
Say it.
No. I'm not doing it. I refuse to believe it.
I'm waiting.
I'm not doing it.
Dad's best friend?
Yo,
Anybody?
I remember.
Poor little broken Marcus.
He's gonna be pissed.
Cain loses his shit. Like, people have to intervene.
It's not like he can help it.
No, they're mates. And Marcus doesn't make the situation any better because Marcus has always been a jokester and he likes to fuck with Cain. So, you know.
What did he do? What did he do?
He makes all the jokes about, you know, and he does get punched a time or two for going too far. Because Cain is just like absolutely not on your bullshit. But here's the thing. Marcus has kept up the whole I'm a playboy thing.
Oh, she's pissed now.
And his mate is the sweet little virgin princess of the Moon Kingdom. Even though she got a dirty mind and all her dirty books.
She reads a lot of little dirty books. That girl is not a normal, like...
So, the whole time they've been there and the kids have been growing up, she hasn't really seen Marcus for him to have known she was his mate beforehand because he's been running the pack. Because I know some people are like, how has he never seen the kid? Sometimes you just don't see kids. You're busy. You know, they've been queen and kinging and he's been alphaing and he hates it because he's a beta. Yeah. But he's also like, now he gets to be her beta. Adorables. Anywho, so they have to figure out what the heck to do, and he's got possessiveness out the wazoo because he doesn't want her out of his sight because he's terrified if she's out of her sight, something will happen to her. Yeah. So he's taken to, like, he puts cameras in the room where she's kicked him out. Then he also gets to a point where, like, he knows that she's turned on and excited by him, so he, like, hides her toys so she can't get no relief. Um, yeah. Crazy.
Because she wants him.
He
he wants her. I mean,
yeah,
she
they
wants
want
him
each
too,
other, but like she wants to be sure that he's, for her and not the playboy he said he was. There's also a part where, obviously when werewolves mark, they do the little bite and you get your mark. And she ain't letting him mark her yet. She's like, no, we on a trial period.
She said, you get 90 days, sir.
But he's allowed to kiss her and hug her and stuff. And when he does, he puts a drop of his jizz on the back of her neck to ward away other males. And she don't realize it. She learns about it when they're preparing for Evelyn's wedding to Kit. That was his name. It just dawned on me. And they're like, girl, you didn't know? And it's a whole thing.
So basically he marked her without the physical mark.
Mm-hmm. Just so nobody knew. Which naturally
he said,
there's drama.
This is my territory.
Yeah, there's some hoes that think they can have Marcus because they helped him during his darkest time, which is a lot of hoopla, and, hoes be hoeing. Yeah. And then Melody's also, like, figuring out different things and making positive changes in the pack. But Melody also, she is short for a wolf. She's also very, very curvy. So, typically wears, skinny, tall metabolism. She's not. So everyone thinks she's weak.
She's small like her mom.
Yes, she's like her mom. She's built like her mom, but a little more stacked. And she loves
a little
sweets.
More hefty.
She loves sweets because he actually found she was like checking out the snack table with her twin little brothers at the mating ball, looking for Chalky. And
that is adorable, though.
It is.
I like the representation, honestly.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, and then because like the orcs all have like dad bods and stuff too.
Yeah,
but just because she's tiny and just because she likes chocolate don't mean that she don't train, and she does have to handle business and kick some booty.
Because at the end of the day, she is still Cain's daughter.
They forgot, like, she ain't just Clara's kid.
They been forgot.
They did forgot, and she had to teach some lessons, and her parents, Cain's parents, who still live in the pack, were like, yeah, get him. Like, you got this.
That's my grandbaby.
Yeah, very much. That's my grandbaby energies.
That's my grandbaby. Yeah, like left hook, sweetie.
So she proves to be a very great leader, but she's just a placeholder. She took over because she's an adult, but the twins are going to be the ones running that because Melody wants to be like the official head of like knowledge in the kingdom and and review all the different species they met after the Dark War and keep investigating what else is out there because there's undiscovered areas, and they're starting to explore the Montonka Wood where the orcs are, which leads to another book. Which actually I don't think that one was listed on here yet, and I do need to mention that, and that is a good one. Maybe it's not published yet. That could be why, but I could still talk about it. So then you get to the twins. The twins are absolute chaos personified, which I feel like is, that's how twins be. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. The other book is technically part of the orc series. That's why it's not here. Never mind. So the twins, they are becoming alphas. Big tough guys. They're a mess. They're chaotic. They are wild. They're all over the place. They break things. They pull pranks. Just twins, They are Dax and Dimitri. Very good names. I like those names.
I like those names. Those are good names.
So they are sent to Earth because Mama knows that their mate is not in Bulgarian. So they're sent to Earth.
I love that Mama's like the biggest wingman.
Mama is a great wingman. Mama Clara is like, adorable.
I'm gonna send you here for
like,
reasons.
as much as everyone's in love with Clara and wanting her, she's like, no, go here. Redirection. Go that way. You go here.
She's like, I'm gonna send you on a little bit of a quest.
Y'all get out of my hair.
I need you to do something for the royal.
Because one of the funny parts I didn't mention throughout the whole thing, Cain has to be satiated often. So they have, like, built multiple closets in the castle so they can pop in and she can take care of him and calm his ass down. Otherwise, he's unbearable. And they call it playtime. So she's like, if you don't behave, there'll be no playtime later. And it's hilarious because Cain is, massive and she's little tiny. And he's like, no playtime? Like his massive, scary-ass wolf that everyone's petrified of. It's like,
ears go down, tail between his legs. Like,
yes. Like, it's hilariously adorable. So, this book is one of my absolute favorites because my people are in here. There is a indigenous tribe.
Nice.
Of wares, which is cool because there's a lot of lore about shapeshifters and indigenous people and stuff. So I really love this book. But I also love this book because these two goofballs get sent to Earth. And they're investigating because there's this drug that's going around. And it is, it's not a drug, it's like biochemical warfare. But it's going against supernatural, so it's not good. So as royals, they're sent to investigate their first mission. They're grown-ups.
They're probably so excited.
They're also little virgins because they've saved themselves for their mate. So proud.
Oh my god.
So they're on their grand adventure.
That's adorable. So wait, did they know that they're gonna... Obviously Clara knows that they're gonna have the same mate. Do twins often have the same mate? Is that like a normal thing?
Yes, it is a normal thing because twins are, they share a soul, they share, a thing, so...
So wait, what if there is a boy and a girl twin? Because they're not identical. I'm guessing those two are identical.
These two are identical. They are the same thing. I think if they're fraternal, it's not necessarily the same case because they are two different eggs, but when you share an egg, you share a mate.
Okay,
so,
I'm sorry. Like, I have so many questions.
You went in the technical side of things. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Back in Fantasyland...
I have science brain.
Back in Fantasyland...
When I say Melody is like a girl after my own heart, she really is.
That's actually, that's very true and accurate. That would work. Dax and Dimitri are in an area near the tribe. And they were trying to get to the tribe, and they were in wolf form. And it's a small town. And they got picked up by the dog pound and taken to the animal shelter.
Oh my god.
Yup.
They got stitched.
Cain's big bad alpha twin children got picked up by the local animal control.
Okay, so they got picked up by the animal control, obviously, in wolf form. Did they think they were huskies? Like,
dumb redneck town. Real dumb.
Hey, I mean, yeah.
No, like real dumb, backwoods dumb. Like, not even backwoods dumb. I don't even know what they are. Just dumb, okay?
Okay.
So, they thought they were like wolfy dogs or something. They're like, they're mean. Don't touch them. They have like scary signs up on them because they won't let anyone touch them. And of course,
because they don't.
They're not linking anybody and not really trying to tell anybody because they don't want anyone to know what happened to them.
They're embarrassed.
Duh. Enter Serafina Rinaldi. She is the third child.
I love that name.
It's a beautiful name. She is the third child of an infamous Italian mafia leader, Dario Rinaldi.
Oh, yes!
As the youngest daughter, she is the final piece that he needs to help rebuild his empire after, of course, a devastating blow to his warehouse. He is the one manufacturing the biochemical weapon.
Oh.
Yes, her mother trained her to protect herself because she learned that her husband was going to marry her off. She was a young girl, she was homeschooled during the day and prepped to be the wife of an older man. So her mother trained her by night, and she helped her escape and get a brand new life. So Serafina's always on the run. So she's in this small town. She works at a little bookstore. She has a couple friends. Yeah, her mom's awesome. And, oh boy, her mom's awesome. So, she works at the bookstore. She has a couple friends. She starts to feel like, concerned. Like she's getting vibes and thinks people are, like, looking at her, following her, finding her. So she decides she needs a guard dog. So she goes to the shelter. And at the shelter, she sees the cage that has the two puppies, who are actually giant-ass wolf shifters. And everyone's like, they're mean, don't touch them. And she's like, yeah, they look real mean. Because they immediately are like, mate, our mate is here. And so they're at the they're at the kennel like, hi, yes, we're good boys. Please pick us.
Tail wag.
Tail wagons, all around good time.
It's like, we'll listen to you. We'll listen. We promise. Get us out of here.
It's hilarious. So, she, realizes immediately these dumbasses think they have dogs. These are clearly wolves. They're big wolves, but they're still wolves. So she adopts them, and they're like, you don't want these, because the guy's trying to hit on her. And she's like, no, I want these. And, the dogs won't let him, the wolves, the twins won't let them near her. They're like, arr, and she's like, fine, here's your paperwork. And, hang on.
She got a 2-for-1 deal.
She did. But I'm trying to remember. She names one of them.
Shadow.
Yeah, she named one of them Bambi and the other Thumper.
Oh my god.
Yes. I was
Please
wait,
tell
I know
me those nicknames go through the entire book. Yes!
So, she names the two alpha princes
Bambi and Thumper.
And takes them home with her.
I love her.
First, she tries to set them free because she's like, you're wolves. Go on, be free. They refuse to leave because, they're wares and that's their mate. So they stay. So she's like, all right, well, Bambi, Thumper. She gives them a bath. She makes them, raw food to eat. It's a really good food, but they notice she doesn't eat a lot of it. Serafina has a lot of body image issues. She looks kind of like her mother. Nothing like her father. She's got wild red hair. She's very curvy. And, she never had the look and fit everyone else did in the family. She never fit in. She was the youngest, all that. So they're there with her. She takes one of them to work with her, and the other one's like, I'm going to go to the chief and talk to Chief Big Claw about what's been going on. So he makes it there, and he's like, where's your brother? And he's like, we found our mate, but she's human, so that's a whole situation. Well, Serafina's friend, they went out to party one night, and so the twins are like, now's our chance. We can get some clothes. We can show up at the club. She'll meet us in person. And then we'll just have to rush home and be, wolves again.
Dogs.
Puppers. Also, she gave them baths, and they did not like that. There's a whole scene where they get baths in dog form, and then she goes to take a shower, and she, shuts the door, because she's like, it's really awkward, they're staring at me. And they sleep in the bed with her in dog form.
They just chill in wolf form.
Yeah. Ain't nothing weird happening in wolf form, though. I'm just letting you know that there weren't none of that, but
honestly, I am not a fan of books that do the weird stuff in wolf form.
Yeah, it's not depending on how it's written and what it is. Lichen form is a little more.
That's different because you're still humanoid.
Yeah.
So it's the full wolf and human.
Yeah,
so
I read
it's
a book once where the guy was shifted and like sniffed her there, and took like a tentative lick, and then he shifted human, but I was still just like, I'm uncomfy.
I read a book where they legitimately he tried to, while she was in human form because she was human. I put down that book. I didn't finish it.
A little uncomfy.
I was not curious enough to finish it. I was like, nope, done, not doing it. And it was sad because it was a really good book, and then I just got to that part, and I was like, no. I was like,
no
I'm
moss.
done.
So anywho,
I will not live moss with this.
So they're all hanging out. While they're at the club, though, there's this guy who's after her, and he's like a douche, and he's like a rich redneck who hunts, talks big game. I'm a big tiff guy. Kinda Gaston vibes for sure. Turns out he's a colony of bear shifters. And some of them are involved in the shenanigans. So the twins show up in human form and are like all over her. And of course, other girls get jelly. And she's like, what the heck? Like, both of them are attractive. Why are both of them dancing with me? What am I doing? What's going on? This is wild. Because she really has to come to terms with it's not one or the other. It is 1 + 1.
It is. It's a 2-for-1.
It's a 2-for-1 special.
BOGO.
So they, are doing that, and then they rush home. Well, her house ends up getting, like, attacked and shot at and stuff, so they escape to the tribe. Tribe takes them in, and so they kind of have to start explaining things to her. It's like, yeah, so there's bears, and so we're wolves, and she's like, wait, you're Thumper and Bambi? And she, like, spazzes. Because
I'm curious if they tell her which one is Thumper and which one is Bambi, because, like, I feel like I wouldn't know.
No, I think she knew.
Okay.
I think she, like, knew and figured it out. So it's wild. It's wildly hilarious. So they're out in the tribe. They've made contact with their parents through the mirror because his wife, like, the chief's wife can do some, like, magic communication ways of our people magic kind of vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're making a stand there and everything. Well, Seraphina's trained all her life. There is a girl in the tribe who doesn't think Seraphina should be with the twins and tries to fight her. And Seraphina actually ends up kicking her ass. And she was like, she took off her shoes because she feels like the earth responds to her and stuff.
She's a witch.
No. It's better. It's so much better. Seraphina comes. So, there were a series of events. You learn some different things. And come to find out, remember the elf Folan from the Dark War?
Yes.
The red-headed royal elf? Last of his kind? That's her real daddy.
Oh, that's why she don't look like her dad. That's why she got the red hair.
That's why she's thick and muscly. And the earth responds to her. So, Seraphina's mama is actually the mate.
These sound so good.
They are. I'm telling you. Seraphina's mama is actually the mate of Folan. And they had met on, like, a trip, and she, like, was secretly with him and got pregnant, had a child. She was supposed to escape with him, and they were planning an escape from Ireland, and she didn't make it. And that he got hurt and they had to take him off without her, and he's been spending his life trying to get back to her. Well, then he's, like, realized Dario's on the move, and so they kind of start crossing information, learning things, and he's kind of followed her and found her and like, well, I have your mother. He managed to kidnap her mother, but her mother was very sick. So he was trying to turn her by marking her, because then she'll become an elf.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Seraphina is. And Seraphina's traits were just kind of dormant for her protection and stuff. But they're starting to come out because she's with her mates and surrounded by other supers. So, and elves are just natural warriors. These ones are. Especially considering she's royal.
Yeah.
So, the bears are involved, and so there's some back and forth with the bears, different things. Well, her dad shows up. Here's the thing, though. Her dad isn't the one who's actually the power behind everything. The actual power is a kitsune. A dark, evil kitsune. And is a big, mean, scary kitsune. And he's the one who has all the power, and he's the one Serafina was supposed to marry. So he's not happy that she's out here living her best life with her Wolfie twins and not shacked up with him. So he comes to visit. And he can, like, shapeshift in things, and he's got magic. He's very powerful. It's very sketchy. Well, the twins' sister, Melody, also comes to visit to document some different things for science, like the fact that Serafina's mom is now going to be fully elf, and then Serafina is like half elf, and she's also going to be part were once they mark her and all that good stuff. And they're like, stop treating our mate like a science experiment, but like that's Melody's whole job. And she has a lot of knowledge, so she's able to help them about the kitsune. It's wild. Like, the kitsune is behind all this. Her dad ends up getting killed, and which is good riddance because he's a terrible dad anyway. She was always like treated like she needed to be skinnier and all, and put on diets and all this other stuff, and was really horrible for her self-image because she's curvy and beautiful as she is. So in some of that other fun stuff, Kane and Clara come, and Kane meets her. And he's kind of his usual gruff self, but she actually kind of goes toe-to-toe with him. And he's like, impressed. Respect. Not often respected and impressed, but impressed. And then, here's the best part. So they're planning out this big battle. She's concerned, she's had to meet with one of the goddesses too. There's information. There's all kinds of cool stuff going on. I'm telling you, these books are just full of cool stuff. So, they're going to fight, and she hasn't shifted yet. She's becoming aware, but the venom hasn't fully taken place to make her shift yet. Okay. So she has like her elfy features, but she hasn't fully shifted. So when the kitsune shows up, they cast like this magic where he can't like escape and stuff, but he does shift into a smaller creature. But before that, when he's trying to get away with her, she shifts for the first time. And guess what form she can take?
Fox?
No, she's a half-shifted, lycan-y badass, too. Oh, so Kane is now really impressed. Because
he's like, all of my children are so impressive with their mates.
Yes. So Kane is like...
He's like, except for approved. Melody. I still don't like that one.
Fair. And Melody, I don't think, ever takes the half-sea form either, because she's too chill for that.
Okay,
but
she's more like, I just want to research in my lab, and...
She's still his pretty precious princess, though, and he always threatens to kill Marcus. So. It's just a thing. Not to mention, Marcus and her have an exorbitant amount of babies. I think they have, like, 6 kids. So that really hurts Kane, because that's evidence of their mating.
That's evidence that they've been together. I'm sure that he was also pissed when he found out about the semen behind the
oh, he didn't like that either. No.
Because he wouldn't. Because he was probably mad because he was like, "You're not gonna mark her, but you're gonna like mark your territory." Yeah, and he probably had to be like, "I'm waiting for her, but I'm not gonna let other people take her."
Clara had to give Kane lots of playtime to get through the matings of his daughters. Let's just say that, and the weddings.
She had to distract.
Lots of distraction. So anywho, it's super badass. Serafina gets a half-sea form, and then little Kitsune has shifted and is taken off in his little fuzzy form, and she's like, let's go hunting. And the nature speaks to her as an elf, so it tells her exactly where he is, and she's able to completely destroy him.
I'm sorry,
it's awesome.
Can you hear my cat?
I heard something. I thought it was the dog. I didn't realize it was the cat.
No, it's
But anywho, there's like all the twisties and the turnies, and it's awesome, and it's a happily ever after. And it's just, love it. And more is coming because Clara and Kane accidentally get pregnant and are having another child, and this other child is huge, big boy. And they're all like, he has something special coming for him, and we all kind of think that he's like those of us who like are in her Patreon and stuff, because I'm a member of her Patreon and all her extras because I'm extra. And we all were kind of thinking that he's going to be mated to like one of the gods or something and be a part of this big stuff that's coming. Because he's like crazy.
So that she can like link her other. Ooh, that sounds cool.
Now I will say, without getting too far into those, because those are like worthy of their own episode as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're already linked because, like I said, Hades Ember is the daughter of Wesley and Charlotte from book 2, The Alpha's Kitten.
Yeah.
And from there, they get together, and Hermes ends up in the Under the God series. They all get super mates. Ares gets a supernatural mate. Hermes does. One of my favorite books that has the tentacles, Poseidon gets a mate.
That's where the tentacles come from.
Tentacles. What we're waiting on though, still, she's writing a lot of things. She's a very busy lady, and I appreciate how much she writes, and it's kind of mind blowing. Because she also like writes different series that she'll write with like other authors and things too. There's one that I haven't read it yet, but I see it on my Patreon, and I'm like, I need to read this. So the Under the God series, it ties into all the nonsense going on, and the gods are trying to rectify their mistakes. Because basically Zeus, in that series, like Zeus realizes he's been a trash, sky daddy, and he's got to fix it. And then Zeus is trying to find his mate, and because Hera left him, and he's sad about it, even though he cheated on her with everything.
I was going to say he did terrible things to Hera.
Yes, and Hera deserved better, and she gets better, but Hera's also a little crazy. But like I said, that's all the Under the Moon God series, which is fantastic. Now, if you really liked Bulgarian, and you might not be interested in the gods, which I find highly unlikely, because I feel like all of us that like those kind of things are kind of drawn together. So if you're here and listening, you probably like that as well. Highly recommend. Continuing from the regular Under the Moon, though, the Orcs of Matanka Wood, there's already, I think there's 3 orc books about orc makes, which are amazing and fantastic, and I will cover those. And then she goes and introduces, what's he called? A satyr, right? That's the goat man?
Yeah!
You get a satyr because there's all kinds of undiscovered creatures in the Matanka Wood.
Oh, that's so cool.
Is it Matanka or Montona? I feel like I'm always saying it wrong. Sometimes my brain goes faster than my words can read. Or my eyes can read the words. There you go. That's what I meant. Anywho, he gets introduced, and he's adorable because his name is Simon, and he was actually introduced to one of the others because he was an emotional support goat for a while before. Yeah. Intense. And then, just to shout out the other series too, the other series is completely unrelated to this series. Like, the other 3 all kind of like circulate each other, and they can be read alone, but why would you deprive yourself of such a fantastic universe? The Iron Fang series is shifters who were rejected and lost their mates and what have you, and they're not allowed to stay there because once you lose your mate, you start to go crazy and become a rogue very badly. So in this case, Locke was an alpha that had that issue and lost his mate, and he formed a motorcycle gang, and they treat him as alpha, as the boss man, president, and everybody comes there, and what they do is make the world safer on Earth's side, because they'll go after bad things that are going down and prevent human trafficking and stuff like that, because they're really good people at heart. They just got screwed over in their mate situation. But those stories, those are spicy. They're a lot darker. I mean, these have some dark moments too, but those are more the dark kind of stuff, because you have the guy who doesn't really talk a lot, and then you have the horrifying stuff Locke went through. But then you also, because it's a shifter gang, there's a variety of creatures. So you get 2 wolf stories first, and then you get a bear story, and then you get a dragon story, and the dragon has 2 peens. 2 peens.
So wait, why didn't the other dragon also have 2 peens?
Changed her mind, I guess.
Different kind of dragons, I guess.
Different dragons, different universe. Completely, told you, it's completely different from Burgarian. Because
Cool.
that dragon has 2 peens, and he's also the dominated one, because his spicy Latina mate is like the one in charge. And honestly, I really like that story. It's not even published yet, but I got to read it on my hookups. So, tease. Vera Foxx books. I've not read a bad one. That's all I can say. I think that's probably the highest compliment you could give, is I've not read a bad one of her books.
Yeah.
And again, like
I'm
I said,
excited.
very excited to
Maybe
meet
we'll
her
do
in
another
person.
episode after I read these ones, and then we'll give my takes, and
Yes,
maybe we'll do
you can
a
add your
specialty
opinions,
episode.
and then
Yeah.
you can give your opinions, and I'll go over the under the moon gods, because I really do want to do that one again, and I probably am going to go reread that one, because that's how I roll. Because why read new books when you can reread old books?
Because new books are also fun. Why
I
not
mean,
do
they
both?
are. They are. I do.
I
but
say that, but I'm about to reread another book, so.
But sometimes I just like the comfort of rereading.
Yeah.
Because, like, now that I've talked about this, I want to go back and reread the whole thing all over again. Because that's just how I am. Which I know she's actually going back and editing it. Because Under the Moon was one of, like, the very first books she wrote. And she feels like she could make it better. And I'm kind of like, I don't see how, because I really enjoyed it. But I can't even imagine what it's going to turn into with the rewrites. Because I
I'm
already
excited.
thought it was pretty awesome. So that is today's episode, the exciting conclusion of our 2-part premiere, Under the Moon series. Yay!
I'm excited. Very
I
excited.
didn't really
to read
cover
these.
some of the other stuff, but obviously lots of spice, a variety of spice, just like I said before. There's something for everyone. And, 12 out of 10. Love them. No
All right.
bad marks.
You ready? For the rapid smash or pass?
Oh. Okay.
You'll have to remind
so-
me characters because we covered 5
I was
books.
gonna say it's Kane and Clara again, and which I already said Kane is one of those ones that like but I'm probably gonna be scared the whole time. Sebastian,
I think I also said yeah.
I probably would Sebastian because
I would fuck a vampire.
he's a vamp and he's got that Dami energy. Now Alpha of her dreams, Kit, like for me, my mind works weird, and I'm like, but they were babies, so he's like still a baby. He's just a baby,
Yeah.
and I don't know. It's like he does show himself up as lover boy, but like I have my own weird about it.
It's like watching your children grow up. You don't want to think about them having sex.
Yes, there's another universe I love to read that I'm eventually going to cover as well, and it's just like we're on the books about the children. It talks about their sex, and I'm just like, these are my nieces and nephews. What are you doing? So that's kind of like the vibe there. And then Marcus is crazy, but I feel like that's a different because you knew him from before, so it's not like he's a child.
But Melody is.
True. Ish.
See, I'm not super attached to these characters yet, so I can answer this. I would say for Kit, I don't know enough about him and his like ways in that stuff.
He's very serious.
Marcus, I feel like I would definitely say yes.
Yeah, because it'd be a fun time.
Because we just talked about it. From what you've described, Melody, I feel like that is me as a character, and
Yeah.
you're just nodding your head yes.
Yeah, I mean, and Melody does kind of boss him around a little, too. I love a good female empowerment moment. Twinning and sitting is an obvious yes, even though they are, like, the whole, that's my nephews or something, but it's like, they're not, and they're twins. So. What?
I don't want to say it.
Lord, if it's gonna make me want to smack you, probably don't.
It's not a smack one. It's just
But
a
you
GP
gotta
moment.
say-
It'll be fine.
Would you or would you not?
I just said it's a DP moment. It'll be fine. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Like, you just don't walk away from that.
Listen, Eiffel Tower, it's a thing. Not the one in France.
For
France
funsies,
isn't the only one with an Eiffel Tower moment.
for funsies, let's throw in Seraphita's dad, Folan. Yes.
Yeah.
Also, not gonna lie, the Kitsune villain, the way he's written, he's kind of a
You can't tell me these things because I'm a sucker for villains.
I know.
I'm a sucker for morally gray, morally black men. Okay? Like, I want them as dark as possible. I want to be scared for my life in my books. Okay? In my books.
To clarify.
I do not want this in real life.
That's my point. I love assholey, like, men in my books, but don't you come at me with that in real life.
In real life, I don't want an emotionally unavailable man. No, that's too much work. I don't want that. I want a emotionally mature man.
Which sometimes is like a fantasy.
Yeah, this is fair.
But anywho, that concludes our episode.
Part 2, and you're back to backs.
I know, wild. You get to hear me talk so much. I am so sorry. Next time it will be Kate.
Oh no! I haven't decided which book I'm gonna do next. I should probably do that.
You probably should.
But there's so many I want to cover.
Also fair.
And I can't cover the ones that I'm reading now because I want to do like a 2-part for that.
I'm kind of thinking about more monsters, and I'm thinking about this orc series that I had read. Another series. I love a series.
I have a were one that I can cover. All right. Anyway, you'll find out next week.
Yay!
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Sweet and Spicy Pod. On YouTube as well. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You can see our faces, our reactions, my giggle fits.
We'll get
it's
uploaded
a little less
eventually.
It's a little less uncut, it's a little less clean than Spotify and just the audio. So if you'd like to see us and our craziness, go ahead and pop over there. And yeah. There might be some special stuff over there eventually, but we haven't decided yet.
We have to figure out how to finish editing first.
Yeah, Cecily's struggling.
I'd be struggling, but it's okay. I'll get it. I'm tough.
I'm the one who edits the normal episodes, so
I do all the other stuff.
You do. Yeah,
Sometimes.
But follow us on anywhere you listen, and we hope you keep listening and enjoy, and happy reading.
Happy reading.
Bye.
Bye.